are they? The 8 brothers stand for the different forms of consciousness of the great mind. And your mind is much more than you realize. Let's explore and find out who they are. Eight brothers live under one roof. One is sharp, one is dim. 5 brothers do business out front. The last one keeps tabs on everything. Brothers 1 to 5, doing business out front, are the eye consciousness, the ear consciousness, the nose consciousness, the tongue consciousness, and the body consciousness. These are our senses, and they interact with the outside world, constantly giving us information about the world around us. The one who understands and analyzes all the information supplied by these 5 brothers is Brother 6, the mental consciousness. He keeps a close watch, weighing and considering everything. The first 5 brothers do, like a sharp manager. He's what we think of as our mind. Day to day, the mental consciousness tells us he is the real, ultimate self. But if he were really in control, why would he let himself experience the suffering of birth, aging, sickness, and death again and again, as we go through lifetimes one after the other? Shouldn't he be able to put a stop to all this and free himself from all the difficulty and discomfort? But he can't. The mental consciousness is fickle. He gets bored easily, likes to stay entertained, and seizes in a dreamless sleep. So obviously, it is not something eternal and imperishable. The final 2 of the 8 brothers managed things behind the scenes, and we were totally unaware of them. Brother 7 is called Manas, or the 7th consciousness. He takes care of everything in the house and makes decisions while staying invisible. The other unseen brother, Brother 8, is called the Buddha essence. His formal name is Tathagarbha. Sometimes he is also called the Alaya consciousness or the foundational consciousness. Brother 8 seems dim and unresponsive, but is extremely important. Day to day, it is actually Manas, Brother 7, who decides when to close up shop and tells Brothers 1 to 6 to close all the doors and stop receiving guests so we can fall asleep. However, neither Brother 7 nor Brother 8 rests after we fall asleep. In fact, they never take even a moment break, ever. Since he is awake all the time, Manas is the one who makes the final decision about everything we do. For example, when a person is sound asleep, if Manas senses any noticeable change in the environment, he wakes up Brother 6 right away to find out what is going on. He also believes that he himself is the real self. However, among the 8 brothers, only Brother 8, the Buddha essence, lives forever and is unaffected by old age, death, or any kind of suffering. Like the air we breathe, the Buddha essence is formless and invisible. Yet, it is the central core of our existence. While Manas isn't the real self of a being, he does one very important thing. When a person's body is no longer usable, Manas will decide to move to another one. He drags the Buddha essence with him through many lifetimes in different bodies. When the Manas drags the Buddha essence along with it through endless rounds of rebirth, the first 6 brothers are unable to follow them. It means that our mental consciousness also ceases at death and does not go on to the next life. While we are alive, the Buddha essence keeps records of everything we do in each life, in the way a black box in an aircraft stores all the transmitted data. Applying the law of cause and effect, also called karma, to our conduct. The Buddha essence enables the creation of a new body of an animal, a human, a celestial being, or whatever form we deserve based on what we have done in our previous lives. Obviously, the records that the Buddha essence of each person contains are unique to that person, since no 2 beings have ever done exactly the same things or had the same experiences. This is also why some people display particular gifts, sometimes at very young ages. The famous Chinese poet Li Bai was proficient in poetry at the age of 10. The great European composer Beethoven held concerts in Germany at the age of 8. They displayed such brilliance because the seeds of their gifts had been stored in their own Buddha essence and brought forward from their previous lives. The Buddha essence itself is changeless, regardless of its contents, life after life. Not only is every sentient being created by its own Buddha essence, but everything in the physical world, including galaxies and planets, is created collectively by the Buddha essence of karmically related sentient beings working together. The Buddha essence is indeed the most amazing yet invisible magician. It is the real self. A Buddha is omniscient, has perfected the merits and virtues, possesses the ability to utilize all the features the Buddha essence has to offer, and helps countless other people from the suffering that comes with birth, aging, sickness, and death. But the Buddha essence is formless and shapeless, so how can we find it? Think of how our eyes cannot see microorganisms or distant galaxies. We need the help of microscopes and telescopes. Similarly, to see the Buddha essence, we need to have a special tool, the Eye of Wisdom. So, how can we open and use our wisdom eye? In everyday life, we should treat people with kindness and respect. Have knowledge of causality, respect the 3 jewels, and accept the Buddha's teachings with faith. If you can do all these consistently, your wisdom eye will soon awaken. By cultivating the Buddha Dharma with diligence, your wisdom eye will open when all the conditions are right. And you will be able to see the Buddha essence, the invisible magician in you. You may wonder, why should we seek the Buddha essence? Because it is the only mind entity that is everlasting and unchanging over time. By learning the correct Buddha Dharma, we can change the karmic forces stored in the Buddha essence. Potentially, every one of us can become a Buddha. To be more precise, any sentient being can become a Buddha. So we are all equal in terms of our chance of attaining Buddhahood. If you can cultivate the Buddha Dharma in every life you live, you can gradually replace negative habit energy, such as craving, arrogance, and aversion with pure actions. Eventually, you will attain Buddhahood. If you really want to become a Buddha, you can make the following vow every day. May I acquire the unsurpassed merits and wisdom of a Buddha, so that I can help liberate all sentient beings from endless rounds of rebirth. To achieve this, I sincerely vow to cultivate the Buddha Dharma and learn all there is to know about the Buddha essence.